Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Houston Fieldhouse for tonight's women's hockey game between the Colgate Raiders and your RPI Engineers. Let's meet the starters for both clubs. First, for Colgate, a forward from Toronto, Ontario, number 4, sophomore Megan Sullivan. A forward from Markham, Ontario, number 11, sophomore Brianne Wilson Bennett. A forward from Sycamore, Illinois, number 61, freshman Bailey Larson. A defenseman from Toronto, Ontario, number 25, junior Hannah Restrick. A defenseman from Denfield, Ontario, number 4, sophomore Kayla Pinckney. In goal tonight for the Raiders from Cambridge, Ontario, number 33, freshman Julia Van Dyke. And the rest of the Colgate Raiders. The head coach of the Raiders in his 4th season is Greg Fargo. The assistant coaches are Josh Skiba and Sophie Leclerc. Now, introducing the starters for your RPI Engineers. A forward from Belleville, Ontario, number 15, junior Laura Forwood. A forward from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, number 11, senior Alexa Khrushchev. A forward from Guilford, New Hampshire, number 14, sophomore Shayna Tomlinson. A defenseman from Copenhagen, Denmark, number 9, freshman Josephine Hansen. A defenseman from New London, New Hampshire, number 12, senior Jen Godin. And in goal tonight for the Engineers from Sollentuna, Sweden, number 35, freshman Lovisa Salander. And the rest of the RPI Engineers. The head coach of the Engineers in his 13th season is John Burke. The assistant coaches are Christy Cicero and Jake Anderson. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise for the playing of the national anthems of Canada and the United States.
Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to the Houston Fieldhouse for tonight's ECAC hockey matchup featuring the Raiders of Colgate University and the Engineers of RPI. My name is Perry Lascaris, joined in a moment by Jeff Morris here on RPI TV. The Raiders come in 14-5-7 overall, 6-3-5 in ECAC hockey play. The Engineers 8-12-4, 6-2-2 in league play, and it's a very tight race for that final playoff spot as we hit the final stretch of the season, Jeff. And this RPI team looking to pick up any points they can against two solid clubs in Colgate and Cornell this weekend.
Yeah, it's almost a do or die here for the Engineer squad. Colgate's sitting in a pretty nice spot, number 10 in the country, as you mentioned, but the Engineers really need to steal something here if they have any hopes of being confident that they can make that final and coveted 8th spot at this point. You talked earlier, I know that, about the earlier implications of a Yale-Brown game.
Right, and Yale beating Brown this afternoon, early this afternoon, already 4-1 the final score, so that jumped Yale above RPI. Still obviously a long way to go, the game in hand being played here tonight. As we drop the puck at center ice, you're watching RPI Women's Hockey on RPI TV. It's the Engineers in white with black and red trim, Colgate in black with gray and white. As it's shot all the way down, we're going to have an early icing call. Yes, we will. Just 13 seconds in, and these two teams, RPI played against a tough road series as it always is. Jeff, the Engineers tied Colgate on the road and then beat Cornell, something they rarely have done recently in Ithaca.
Yeah, that's, whatever they tied into there as far as working down low and getting pucks deep and on net, they're going to have to continue that here against a very good Raider team.
Here's Jen Godin working it to the point. Shot through traffic, deflects just wide of goal. In on Julia Van Dyke, who's making her 6th consecutive start for the Raiders. Puck kept in the zone. Shot by Tomlinson, or was it kept in? Another call, a hand pass here. We'll have another early stoppage in this game, but a good jump early on here for the Engineers, getting some offensive zone possession.
Yeah, whatever they can do, John Burke's club is going to have to build confidence in the zone, and something they haven't done all season. I know we've seen a lot of games here at the Fieldhouse, but they really haven't spent a lot of time in the attacking team's zone.
They'll look to rectify that here. The Engineers coming off a 2-1 loss on Tuesday due to the blizzard. The Engineers game against Yale was moved from last Saturday to Tuesday night. A tough 2-1 defeat. RPI fell to behind 2-0, and they weren't able to come all the way back. Hannah Bohanek had the lone RPI goal. She's been heating up, 2 goals in 2 games as deking her way into the zone. That was Labby. She was turned away for a second, but they stay on the play. Labby had that puck squeak right under his stick to the corner. One of the freshmen, this very young Colgate squad, Shea Labby from Calgary, Alberta. 20 points already on the season, 10 goals, 10 assists. As it's Banks moving it off the wall for Bohanek. And she'll be steered back to her own end. There is Hannah Bohanek, up to 3 goals on the season, but 2 in 2 games, as I mentioned, including the one against Yale. Also had one against Brown, as trying to drive the net there and falling down behind the goal was Olivia Zafudo. Backhand pass by Shelby Perry to the point. And Gass had some trouble with it, but she does keep it in the zone. Here's McKenna Thomas for RPI. Thomas around to the far side corner. The freshman from Heartland, Wisconsin, plays the back behind the goal for Bohanek. Bohanek, a junior, up the wall for Grigsby, trying to move it in deep, and she does. And enough for the Engineers to get a change. Colgate now out of their own zone. Kayla House over to Zafudo. She'll spin around and dump it in on the backhand. Kimberly, that's Amanda Kimberly to pick it up for the Engineers, sophomore from Anoka, Minnesota. Up ahead for Grushow, or make it Raspo rather. Here's Lindsay Hoa. Finds room on the far side, a little bit of room for Whitney Wren, the converted forward. Will flip it in from center ice. Stop behind the cage by Van Dyke. Grushow against the wall. She's double teamed. Ormel had her pinned up there, but it comes free. Here's Schwalbe. Schwalbe up top for Josephine Hansen. Rister coming, takes a couple deflections. Grushow had a whack at it, but looks like the Raiders are going to be able to clear to center. Right off the bench, Laura Horwood fires it right back in. Controlled behind the cage by Kayla Pinkney. A little bit of pressure on Rastrick, but she gets it up the boards. For Parker, can't clear the zone. Jam try in front, fed all the way through the crease by Tomlinson. Picked up at the point by Godin, who tried to wrap it up the boards. Grushow chips it off the glass to herself. Alexa Grushow, centering pass, broken up. Good stick lane in the lane there by the centerman, Wilson Bennett, for Colgate, rather. And the Raiders were able to move it out to center. Shot in deep by Caitlin Parker, 5'5" senior from Bellingham, Washington. Now a wraparound try, puck popped down in front. It's gloved down by Tomlinson. Works on neatly to center for Katie Rooney. Having a breakout season here in her junior campaign. Great play at the line by Lauren Wash to break up the outlet pass. Centering pass right through Rooney, all the way through. It was a terrific effort there by the Engineers as Wash will pick it up along the half boards. Nice flip to the far point. Brandy Banks, slap shot coming, takes a deflection right to Wash. She couldn't get her stick on it, trickles behind the goal. This is good pressure by the Engineers. Mankey to the circle, nearly ran into Rooney, comes free to Banks again, a slapper. That one's blocked, and it'll be gloved down in the corner. Mankey cycling, puck pops off the wall, Wash centering pass, Mankey scores! Mari Mankey off a great possession. And the Engineers take a 1-0 lead. It was Wash with the pass from behind the cage. And it's Mankey's 5th goal of the year, her team-leading 17th point. And the Engineers are on the board here just 4 minutes in. It's 1-0 to RPI. Great feed there. They're going to give the second assist to Katie Rooney, I believe. It's a shot in off a skate. Amanda Kimmerly back to pick it up. Puck trickling in wide of goal, clearing effort to move it out to center. Shot right back in by the Engineers. Couple of RPI players need to touch up. Back out to center they come. Good handoff there. This will be offside on the Raiders. Late shot after the whistle.
Her 5th goal of the season, scored by number 16, Mari Mankey. Assisted by number 10, Lauren Wash, and number 21, Katie Rooney.
The stats, the assists, excuse me, will go Wash and Rooney. For Lauren Wash, it's her 8th assist of the year, and for Rooney, it is her 6th. On Mari Mankey's 5th goal of the year. 1-0 RPI leads here in Troy. As it'll be picked up by Grigsby. Little backhand flip to the far side. And now on further for Hilwa. Flips one in on goal. And it'll be covered up there by the goaltender, Julia Van Dyke from Cambridge, Ontario. She's 9-1-3 on the season. Her first loss coming last Saturday at Clarkson, a 3-2 defeat. She's a .203 goals against and a .921 save percentage. She was the goaltender when the Engineers faced the Raiders earlier this year. That game coming on October 31st, the 3-3 tie when the Engineers came back. Now a shot coming. That one's blocked in the try by Taylor Schwalbe. Schwalbe suffered an injury earlier this year. She's back in the lineup recently. Very helpful to the depth of this RPI squad. Now Raspa tried to turn the puck around top of the circle. It's knocked away from her all the way down the ice. Will not have the legs for icing as Hannah Bohonic goes to pick it up for RPI, the junior from Minnetonka, Minnesota, trying to clear the zone. Tremblay gets bumped, but does enough to work it to Raspa. Here comes Raspa now. She also coming back from an injury. This team has been as healthy as it's been all year, the Engineers. Turned right back around by the Raiders. Megan Sullivan into the zone. Flips it around Banks, trying to pick it up on the other side. Centering pass knocked away by Bohonic. And kept in at the point. Shot coming through traffic, and the save is made by Solander. Two of the top goaltenders, freshman goaltenders, I should say, in the country playing in tonight's game. Numbers-wise and otherwise. Well, the Raiders on the cycle now. To the corner for Sullivan. She'll flip it in deep. Tie up there between Bailey Larson, the team's top scorer, and Taylor Schwalbe. Jam try at the side of the cage. Spun down to the ice was Larson, and the Engineers take it away. High off the glass, and it stays on the ice. Labby kept it in for a second. And it's towards the point, kept it with a skate. And now moving up the wall into the zone. To the far point, a shot to flex high off the glass. It came off Rooney. Picked up in the corner by Labby. Labby works it up the boards. Spun to the ice there was Annika Zaleski. And now Eldridge Back to Zaleski on the wall, or make it Eldridge rather. No, a centering pass right in front. They score. Beautiful backdoor feed. And the Raiders have tied things up all alone. At the far side, it was Nicole Gass, the senior, who had jumped into the attack there. She'll pick up the goal. It is her third on the year. Unaccounted for at the back door. And that's how Solander's been beaten. She's been solid this season. The freshman making her 24th appearance. Is her 19th straight start for Solander. 7-11-4 record, 198 goals against, 937 save percentage. As here comes Horwood for RPI, flips one wide of goal. It took a deflection off the stick of Kayla Pinkney. Played back behind the cage now. Around for Hannah Rastrick. Rastrick up the boards. Gets some help from Zafuto all the way down. Whitney Wren, the Troy, Michigan native, back to pick it up for RPI. Wren, stick handling far side, shoots it off the boards. Rastrick turns it right back around. There's an engineer playing without a stick. It's Wren, and now Kimberly near side for Horwood. Poking at it there. It's played up the boards and into the RPI zone by the captain, Caitlin Parker. Horwood in her own end, takes a hit up high. Penalty coming on the Raiders. It's going to be a body checking call, and it's going to go. Well, a delayed penalty anyway. Engineers move it into the zone. Here comes Mankey. We get a touch of the puck. I didn't see who it was. I thought it was a 23. No 23 listed. It might be Lauren Wildfang who takes the checking call. It's going to be a body check, I believe, and it will go, well, it's going to go on Brennan. Megan Brennan, the junior from Ottawa, takes the penalty here. First power play chance for the Engineers upcoming.
2 minutes for a body check. Time on the penalty, 8 minutes, 2 seconds. Colgate penalty, 27. Megan Brennan, 2 minutes for a body check.
So a power play for the Engineers. Engineers have not been good on the man advantage so far this year, 9.4%.
Assisted by number 9, Jesse Eldridge, and number 22, Chelsea Jakes. Time of goal, 6 minutes, 59 seconds.
Engineers get it deep.
18, Gass, assisted by number 9, Jesse Eldridge, number 22.
Shot coming from the point, deflected over the top. Rooney was there. And now it's picked off the boards by Mankey, intercepted, and cleared all the way down. Good defensive play that time by Wildfang, sophomore from Waterdown, Ontario. Former Toronto Junior Arrow. We've seen a number of former Junior Arrows suited up for the Engineers. Here's Grushow to the offensive zone. Back to the point for Godin. Now Wren. Back to Godin, center blue line. Godin pulls it back to the circle. Grushow fed to the far post. Rebound! And it's kept out somehow. I don't know how Van Dyke kept that puck out of there, Jeff.
Yeah, this one might be looked at. I'm not sure. But what a chance for Tomlinson on the back door. The puck trickled around a little bit in front of the crease, hit a couple skates, bounced to Tomlinson on the left post there. And from our vantage point, the forehand shot there from Tomlinson. She hit the left or the right pad. I guess they're not going to look at it. They're just going to say that was cleanly out. Probably the right call.
Godin gets it back from Wren. A slap shot coming way wide from Grushow. But now it's Wren to the point. Can't quite control it. It's back out to center. 40 seconds to go on the RPI power play. Grushow, stick handling. Does a nice job to lose the defender. That was Larson. And now Grushow into the zone. Fired a pass or a shot, not quite sure, but it was broken up. Tomlinson in the corner, trying to get to the puck. Puck stick knocked out of her hand. Coach Burke hollering for a slash, not going to get it as the arms stay down. 16 seconds to go on the RPI power play. As the Raiders will try and clear it out, and they do all the way down. It's on goal, and it'll be covered up by Solander. 7 seconds left on that power play.
Well, RPI did a good job cycling and working hard in the corner to get their goal. And Colgate just had a nice backdoor play and a mishap where sticks not in lanes and a broken down coverage. And that's why they're number 10 in the country. They can get you real quick.
Here is Kimberly around for the freshman McKenna Thomas. And now here's Grigsby, another freshman for RPI, played up the boards by Hilwa. Lindsay Hilwa, the junior from Cary, South Carolina. I beg your pardon, North Carolina. Tying it up along the boards, and now it's moved out to center. Good connection there. Labby into the RPI zone all by herself. Little toe drag around Kimberly. Backhand shot over the top of the net. Shot rattled all the way out to the near point and then out of the zone. But here comes Zafudo into the zone. Pulls it back, takes a shot, and she scores right over the shoulder of Solander. And it's 2-1. A rip there from Olivia Zafudo, the freshman from Niagara Falls. And it's a 2-1 Colgate lead, the 6th goal of the season for Zafudo. Puck behind the RPI cage. Here's Godin off for Mankey. Good outlet pass to Lauren Wash. Wash into the zone. To the slot, fed right through behind Rooney. And it'll be carried on further by Wildfang. And now a giveaway here. And we have a whistle, not quite sure what for. Hand pass is the call. Puck will come out of the zone. Engineers moving to the zone, shot by Horwood, high and wide. Around to the near side boards. Good tie up there by Tomlinson. Trying to move it out of the zone was Larson. Now Tomlinson just gave it right away to Gass. And now Jax will try the far side, gets it out of the zone. Carried on further by Megan Sullivan, and then shot in deep by the Raiders. Brandy Banks back to pick it up, the senior from Burlington, Ontario. Connects to center ice, bouncing puck, tried to glove it down, that was Horwood. Was turned right back around by the Raiders, Brennan. And the puck, I believe, hopped into the RPI bench. Yes, it did. 8:01 to play in the first period. And it's 2-1 Colgate.
Yeah, great play by Annika Zaleski there on that goal for Colgate's second goal. She created that turnover and led to a 2-on-1.
Zaleski, the younger sister of a couple of professional hockey players. One of them played here at RPI as the puck comes loose to the near circle. Mike Zaleski left after his sophomore season. Got a couple of call-ups with the Vancouver Canucks. He's currently back down in Utica with the Comets. The oldest Zaleski, that being Steven, had a couple stints in the NHL with the Devils, Sharks, and he's now playing over in the German League. Annika Zaleski, also, of course, from New Hartford, is a sophomore. There's a shot coming and a save by Solander on the try by Labby. Labby off the wall for the aforementioned Zaleski, looking to cycle it. Off the wall, Eldridge fired all the way through. Wildfang at the point. Broken up nicely by Grigsby. Jamie Grigsby to center, shoots it in. Engineers will get a change. Shots are even, it's 6 apiece with 6:51 left in the first period. Colgate Raiders have a 2-1 lead. Mankey trying to steer it on for Thomas, who's offside. 3 Engineers forwards touch up, and they're back on the forecheck. Outlet pass ahead to center ice. Haas. Knocked down there by Hansen. Godin picks it up for RPI. She's being pressured. It's kicked at by Shelby Perry. Trying to move it off the wall is Haas. Back to the point and out of the zone. Chasing it down her own end is Jax. She'll fire it far side for Perry. Perry on further. Zafudo pulls it back, takes her wrister right on, and Solander had that one right in the P of the RPI on her chest and holds on.
Well, Colgate, I think the first shift or so, they got a little bit dazed about the RPI forecheck, and the great two lines RPI sent in, the Grusha line, the Mankey line. But ever since then, they've kind of stemmed down here and worked it into the RPI zone with some confidence.
Horwood off the boards. Nice connection to Bohonic. On further for Tomlinson. Shayna Tomlinson, offensive zone. Looked like offside, and it was. Tomlinson spent a little bit too much time dangling along the line, forced Grusha into an offside position.
Yeah, and they've been doing that all season. I'm not sure what it is, a lack of focus or something, but they have been trouble getting across the line with some north-south movement instead of trying to get to the center of the ice so quickly.
That time it cost them entry into the zone. Bouncing puck played by Horwood. She'll try and tap it in, and she will get there. Laura Horwood on her backhand trying to drive the net. She's tripped up. And nothing called here. Larson to center ice. A little bit of space for Sullivan. Takes a wide angle, takes a high shot, knocked down by the shoulder of Solander. Played to the far side by Wren, who goes back and cleans things up again. Whitney Wren, center ice for Horwood. Good to have Laura Horwood back. She missed half of the first half of the season due to injury, but came back on the new year. Puck swatted to the RPI line. Amanda Kimberly plays it there. It's tied up and forced back into Raiders territory. Zaleski gets it back near side of her own zone. Chipped off the boards. Right to Wren. Had some trouble with it. Taken away by Eldridge. Eldridge into the zone, to the circle. Looking to feed it in front. Fan on the pass. It was a good stick by Kimberly. Jam try in front. That didn't connect. They were looking for Labby. And now back comes Kimberly the other way. On for Rooney. Katie Rooney, offensive zone. With a teammate trailing, it was Wash. Ends up getting the puck knocked away. To center ice, Wildfang. Far side flipped in. In on Solander. And it's played by Grigsby. Off the boards. Hilwa. Grigsby onto the line. Taken right back by the Raiders. Gas. Into the RPI zone. It's poked free. Ormel. Tried to get an exchange back from Brennan. Here's Shannon Ormel, freshman from Winnipeg. Gets dumped along the wall, picked up by Grigsby. Engineers have numbers if they hurry here, although Grigsby lost a handle on it. Tried to dump it in, gets some help there from her classmate Thomas, and the Engineers will get a change. Under 4 to go in the first period, 2-1 is the Colgate lead. The Engineers came back from a 3-1 deficit to tie Colgate back in October. Centering pass right out in front. It was Tomlinson, kind of a blind backhand, but she may have seen Horwood cutting to the net there. Either way, RPI does a nice job keeping the puck in along the far side. There's a tie-up in front of the Colgate bench area. Shots are 10-6 Raiders. A near steal in the slot, but it's poked free. Gass, who picked up the first Colgate goal, plays it out to center. Another nice poke check there. Horwood gets free. Laura Horwood into the circle. Centering pass all the way through, looking for Grusha. Turned right back around by Haas. Haas to center ice. Here is Zafudo. Knocked away from her, looking for Mankey on the breakout, just too far. And this will not be icing, they wave it off. Rastrick, broken up by Wash, but moved on out to center ice. Jump back on it there, moving to the offensive zone, it's Sullivan. Sullivan to the circle, lost the handle at the last second. She was pressured by Kimberly. Now another centering pass all the way through to the far circle. Rastrick plays it there. Hannah Rastrick, she'll fire it through the middle. It's all the way out to center for Pinckney. Kayla Pinckney with it there, the 5'9" sophomore from Denfield, Ontario. Works it back to the point, shot coming, takes a deflection, and it's swatted away by a diving Kimberly. Right back to the point it goes. Rastrick, shot blocked again, this time by Rooney. And it's out to center. Katie Rooney chopping at it there. Junior from Buffalo, Minnesota was the league's player of the week after putting up a 4-point game against Brown last Friday. Shot comes on goal. Solander makes the stop on the try by Sullivan. 2:18 left in the first. Still 2-1 Colgate.
Yeah, without Rooney's latest numbers, I mean, you look at the forward offensive production for the RPI Engineers, and it's really Alexa Grusha and a steep drop-off after that. So they really got to get somebody else involved, and it's good thing to see Katie Rooney get some of that offense going in the previous couple contests.
That shot from the point took a deflection off the skate of Megan Brennan and in on goal. Solander saw it pretty easily. Didn't have a lot of pace on it. She was able to cover it up.
You see a lot of turnovers right now from the RPI defense, especially in the neutral zone. If they're going to get back to their earlier offensive production or cycling, they got to get better at getting puck control over the line.
Shots now 12-6 Raiders. As RPI did have some pretty solid jump to this game, but now here's Eldridge's shot. Saved by Solander. Rebound, another stop. Still loose in front. Who can find it? Solander to the butterfly. Now a wraparound try is thwarted there by Schwalbe, forcing the winger Zaleski all the way wide to the center. And now another centering pass all the way through. Zaleski looking for the backdoor tap in. That didn't work. But it's all Raiders right now in the final stages of this first period. Zaleski leaned on by Schwalbe. Labby now. She's tied up by Godin. Godin around to the corner. Trying to clear the zone. Pinching in there was Kirion. And now Schwalbe again trying to get it out to center ice. Finds Grigsby. Grigsby gets it as far as the Colgate line, where it's turned by Kat Kirion, junior for these Raiders. Working into the zone far side, where Haas is met by the defense. That was Hansen. Around to the near side, Shelby Perry. Perry looks to cycle. On for Haas. Haas behind the cage, poke free by Hansen. Little two-arm shove to Safuto. Tie up in the corner, Perry kicks it free. Safuto, nice move. Haas getting free, backhand shot, saved by Solander. There is no rebound with 41.3 ticks to go. Once again, it is Solander, the one keeping this a one-goal game.
Yeah, there's some great size on that line for the Raiders, the Labby, Zaleski, Eldridge line. I mean, you look at across the numbers, 5'6", 5'10", 5'9". They use their size so well. They control the puck down low. And they're that sense for all those backdoor plays that you're mentioning, Perry.
Poke free to center ice. Good defensive stick by the senior Mankey. As it's shot in. Brandy Banks is going to shield the puck there. Gets it up the boards a bit. Mankey tries to help out. 24 seconds to go in the period. Stolen away. Larson to the point. Wrist shot coming. That one's blocked by Rooney. She tried to take off but didn't have the puck. Puck is back out at center ice, however. And it's played by Wilson Bennett. Played it back, stolen away. Wash tried to jump on it, tried to poke it around the defense. That doesn't work. Now Pickney for Colgate. Engineers have numbers back, so they'll slow down any break the Raiders thought they had, and that'll do it for the first period of play. 2-1 is the Colgate lead. It was the Engineers who struck first. But in the end, goals from Nicole Gass and Olivia Zafuto have the Raiders on top after 20, Jeff, and the Engineers will look to try and rebound here after in the second period.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some really great things in the first 4 minutes there, like we mentioned, but they reverted back to some weak plays in the neutral zone. There's some lack of focus plays where they got to get tighter on their sticks. They got to make sure they hit the puck and don't overskate the puck. There's a couple of times where they had some great opportunities for numbers, but there was an overskate. There was left the puck in my skates. So it is kind of a close game for what the score is. It's 2-1, yes, but Colgate really had the majority of the attack time, especially in the later stages of the first period. Shots 15-6. They had the edge in faceoffs 11-7. Only one power play for RPI, and they did get 3 power play shots. Again, that was early in the period when they had some good looks, but I think they got a lot of work to do. And it's not to say that they can't break out of the zone. They're not getting completely worked over from the Raider offense. It's just when they have the chances, they got to start skating quick up ice and gain the zone and then not let offsides or any derailments there cancel their chances, Barry.
Yeah, that'll do it for our first period here. I'll be back with the second in a few minutes. You are watching live coverage of RPI hockey on 91, well, on RPI TV. Getting set here for period number 2. It's RPI and Colgate from the Houston Fieldhouse. Perry Lascaris and Jeff Morris joining us intermittently here. Engineers will now skate from left to right. Jeff, as second period's underway, RPI just 6 shots to Colgate's 15. A number the Engineers look to improve on here, as well as the score line, which is 2-1.
Yeah, another quick stoppage here, but the RPI squad needs to really start controlling play like they did early in the first period, where they established a nice forecheck and a nice cycle to get that goal, and a nice shot by Mari Mankey to feed it right on the short side post.
Here's Grushaw out of the corner. She's pinned up there by Wilson Bennett. She goes down but gets it back to the point. Some space for Godin. A shot and a blocker save made by Julia Van Dyke. Nice keep there by the Engineers. Combining was Horwood and Godin. Shot to center, connects there. On further comes Bailey Larson. She'll dump it in. Godin picks it up, shoots it near side boards for Tomlinson. And it's kept in along the near side, fed to the far corner by Kirion. There's Labby, stolen away. Hansen off the boards, finds Grigsby, or Horwood rather. And now Labby into the RPI zone, works it past Hansen. Coming over to help out is Godin. RPI trying to clear the zone. They will. It's Josephine Hansen on the skate, although it's stolen away by Jessie Eldridge. Now a shot coming. Labby, pad save, rebound put wide, and the net comes off. And they're not going to allow an RPI change. They're going to say Horwood was the one who knocked the goal off its pegs.
Horwood on the back of Zaleski. Good drive to the net there by the sophomore Raider. And Horwood had to almost climb over her to prevent her a scoring chance. And they both tumbled down and hit the right post of the net, knocking it off.
Face-off coming in the RPI zone. Face-offs in the first period were 11-7 Colgate, with Brianne, Wilson Bennett going 5-2 on the draw for the Raiders. Engineers work the puck in. Wilson Bennett trying to track it down, gets it ahead for Zafudo. Turned right back around by RPI, however. It's Rooney stick handling along the line, does not realize that Mankey was offside. And Mankey tried her best to touch up, but could not do so in time. Just about 2 minutes into the second period, it's 2-1 Colgate.
Katie Rooney has a lot of skill, and she's really improved since her freshman year, especially her speed and her stick handling. And she's going to be the one to look out for the way she's going for her next year too.
Yeah, still has a year left, of course. Engineers trying to make the postseason. Right now are in 8th place, but with Cornell, one of the teams chasing the Engineers, playing Union tonight, a winless Union team over in Schenectady. They cannot rely on the Dutch women for help. As Mankey works it out to center ice, pass a bit behind Wash, and now a chance to break into the zone as Zafudo fell down on the play, allowing the Engineers to turn it right back around. Mankey dumps in. Pinckney for the Raiders. Now it's Wash who jumps on it first. Lauren Wash, the senior out of Belmead, New Jersey. Couldn't keep it in. Now up the boards, it's Kimberly. Right back to Pinckney. Now Haas to center. Good connection there. Shelby Perry, or make it to, I beg your pardon, Parker blocked. Behind the goal, it's Parker once more. Grigsby has the puck tied up there. Stolen away. Sullivan, wrister, shoulder save made by Solander. Wilson Bennett out of the corner, taken away by Thomas, on for Lindsay Hilwat. Hilwat chips it in. Tracked down there by Pinckney. Now Hilwat ties up Larson, but the puck nearly trickled out of the zone, kept in by Hilwat. Fed to Thomas, it's broken up on the pass read by Rastrick. Pinckney now. Tipped all the way down the ice, or did it? No. No tip on the play. That'll be icing on the Raiders. We are 3.5 into the second. Shots are 17-7 Colgate, but it's still just a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, a couple turnovers there by the Raiders, almost capitalized, but again, it seems like one bad decision is followed by the next, and you're not going to get a goal with 2 bad decisions in a row. One by the offense, one by the defense, but it just seems like the puck's forever floating in neutral ice or being iced right now.
Tomlinson tried to drive to the net, went down and couldn't quite get the shot on goal. Rastrick across for Pinckney. This group, this defensive pairing at least, has been out there for quite a bit of time. Let's see if the Engineers can capitalize. Not allowed to change here as Hansen moves into the zone. Tried to hand it off for Grushaw, who was trying to toe the line. And eventually it's Hansen working it down low for Tomlinson. Still a tired group out there for the Raiders. Grushaw off the boards, trying to turn on Rastrick. Played it down low, and now it's Annika Zaleski trying to work it out to center. Broken up nicely by Banks at the line. Grushaw spun to the ice, or make it Tomlinson rather. Rastrick seems like they've been out there for about 1.5 minutes now. Over to Zaleski. Here's Pinckney down the middle, tap to center ice. Can they get it deep? Yes, they can, or at least deep enough. Picked up by Bohonic, finding Banks. Raiders get that all-important change, as now it's Wildfang. Went behind the net, steers it back to the near side. Perry, stick handling right by Raspa, had a chance at a steal there. Could have gone right in on goal, but as the case is, puck back out to center. Kirion over to Haas, who lost an edge and went down. Banks flips it back out to center. Right back to Kat Kirion. Fed to the wing, it's tipped out of play. We'll have a stoppage in play of 14:56 on the clock, second period. 2-1 Colgate Raiders lead.
Both teams struggling to get through the neutral zone with any kind of speed right now, as there's just a lot of sticks there. Both teams playing a good job holding the line, not letting them get any speed through each other's offensive zone.
Mankey's stick was held up, but legally by Zaleski. Gass dumping it in. Whitney Wren to pick it up, flips it behind the goal for Kimmerly. Amanda Kimmerly off the shin pad of Eldridge to the middle of the ice where the Engineers take it back. Lauren Wash, stick handling to center. Crossing center, she'll carry it in. Stops at the hash marks. Try to play it back to the point. It's broken up by Zaleski. Tipped ahead, and now a 2-on-1 chance for the Raiders. Into the zone. Labby pulls it back. Fed across. One-time pad save by Solander. Denying Eldridge there as the Raiders keep it in. Jacks. Center blue line. Feeding Gas to the far side for Eldridge. Eldridge, stick handles free, stolen away by Mankey momentarily. No, great toe drag there by Eldridge to get loose. Still Eldridge, finally poked away. She's triple teamed. And then Mankey forces Labby to the ice. And the puck out to center for the Raiders to regather. Back into the zone comes Colgate. Parker, shot goes wide. Thomas is tied up towards the point, kept in neatly by Parker. Another tie up in the corner. Thomas lets it ride. No, it's played behind. Ormel, centering pass off a skate. It'll be played by Pinckney. Off the boards and in deep. Kimberly trying to get there. Does, and flips it to the near corner. There's a collision. A couple sticks tied up. Ormel and Kimberly. Kimberly back up on her feet, and she finds Thomas, who tried to clear to center. There's going to be a hand pass. It's going to be called on Mankey. 13:20 on the clock. Engineers 2 shots here in the period. And they trail in that department 18-7.
Yeah, fine stop by Solander as we get a look on the center board with it, but the whole 2-on-1 commenced. Whitney Wren having a tough time. She's made a couple of mistakes in the defensive position, being out of position. And that time she lost her edge and took a dive down at her offensive blue line. And great play by Solander to bail the Engineers out there.
Centering pass, batted out of the air. Good hand-eye coordination from the sophomore Shayna Tomlinson out of Guilford, New Hampshire. Went to Assabet Valley. It was a wrister. That time from Horwood. Tried to play it back out in front. It's a bouncing puck kept in by Hansen. Now Horwood backhands it in front, gloved away, and out of danger. Now a hard hit against the boards. It was Kirion all by herself. Trying to move it back to the point. Godin a slapper. Fluttered in and was not played cleanly there. Kind of a change-up on the try by Godin, but Van Dyke kept it out. Now another shot, and she scores! Jen Godin from the point. I don't think it was tipped, maybe a screen, because Van Dyke did not react like a goaltender who would have seen that shot. Either way, it's 2-2 on the goal by Godin. It's her first of the year and 7th of the career of the blue liner. That makes it 2-2. Engineers look to go back on the attack quickly. Behind the cage. Colgate end. Trying to keep it in was Banks, couldn't do so. Puck played behind the RPI goal, wrap it around to the near side half wall. Turning around in her own zone is Gas. Nearly stolen away, actually leaves the zone, so Banks just slaps it in. RPI will get a change. Kimberly stick handling, lost the puck, side of the net, trying to work it back in front was Labby. She'll turn it back to the corner.
See that?
And now poked free. Kimberly. Kicked at by Hilwa. Now Schwalbe. To center ice, dumps it in. Thomas, the first one to it for RPI. McKenna Thomas does a nice job to drag it loose to the corner. But then Zaleski jumps right in front of her. Cleared all the way down the ice. This should be icing on the Raiders. And it will be. 11-13 to play second period. The Engineers have pulled back to a tie game. As the goal is picked up by Godin. The lone assist right now going to Alexa Gruschow. Shot coming from the point by Godin, tipped just wide in front by Tomlinson. Missed the net. Engineers continue to put the pressure on here. Centering pass right in front. Gruschow shot blocker save made by Van Dyke. That time she reacted well. Hansen to Godin. Holding. Back to Josephine Hansen. Godin once more. Looks like a power play out there right now for RPI. There's a pass tipped by Labby as they're trying to find Horwood in the circle, and that'll allow the Raiders to clear to center ice. Turned right back around by Hansen. Engineers touch up. Nice play there. Good awareness by Tomlinson. It looks to be shaken up a bit, but she's back on the bench now. Flip to the center ice, stolen away by Gruschow. She'll flip it in deep. Walsh will chase after it for RPI. First one to it, Pinckney. Tied up with Walsh, can't find the puck. It's in the corner. Rooney slides over to try and play it. It's the boards by a skate right now. Taken out of there by Larson. Larson, nice strong job on the play. She's an offside position there. Should have had a whistle, didn't get it. Sullivan now tied up, gets it into the RPI zone. Here's Hannah Bohonic for RPI. Bohonic, stick handling, gave it away in the circle. Wilson Bennett works it below the goal line. Haas to the circle, trying to turn and shoot, missed the net wide. Picked up by Tomlinson. Ahead for Thomas, can't clear the zone. Flung to the corner by Kirion. Played behind the cage by Wilson Bennett. Haas again, trying to turn out of that corner. Tied up again. Doesn't get the shot off this time, and it's Tomlinson clearing the center. Kirion fed right back to the RPI line, but too far out in front of Perry. Race for the icing call goes in the Engineers' favor. 9:04 to play in the second. It's 2-2 RPI and Colgate. Shots are 18-11 Raiders, but 5-3 RPI here in the second period. Raiders have a shorthanded goal. I didn't mention that earlier. Olivia Zafuto's goal, her 6th of the season, which came at 10:43 of the first, was a shorthanded tally, with a lone assist going to Annika Zaleski. Now Grigsby trying to walk her way in front, was poked off her stick and shot all the way down. This one may come in on goal. They wave off the icing regardless as it's played by Kimberly. Along the half wall, Grigsby lets it run. Loose puck, Grigsby will jump on it, trying to move it to the offensive end. Coming over to help Kirion. And now Schwalbe runs into Grigsby, and Grigsby gets it into the zone. In the corner, Horwood works it out of there. Double team comes, Horwood kicks at it. Grusha helps it out. Off the boards for Horwood. Horwood into the slot, trying to get a shot off. She's hooked, and there's going to be a penalty coming up here. It's going to go on the Raiders. It's going to be a hooking call, and they're going to get the defenseman, Chelsea Jacks, out of Calumet, Michigan. Second power play chance of the night for the Engineers. They're 0 for 1. As Jeff mentioned, they did have 3 power play shots first time around. But a chance for the Engineers to take their second lead. They led 1-0 way back early in the first period. But they have a chance here. Hansen a slapper. That goes well wide. And it's cleared all the way down. Race for the puck. Hansen had it stolen away by Wilson Bennett. And now some ragging of the puck by the Raiders at center ice. It's Wild Thing. This can be dangerous if you don't get the puck out of your own zone in the end, and they do. They fire it all the way down. Stolen away. The dangerous Bailey Larson. She's going to have to be very dangerous because there's 4 Engineers looking to take the puck away from her, and they do. Rooney back all by herself in the offensive zone. Moves to her backhand, lost the puck. Wash trying to come help out. Chopped away by Pinckney. Wash off the boards. Glove down by Grusha. Over to Godin. Godin took her eye off the puck, and it's back out to center. Whitney Wren over to Grusha. Cut off there by Eldridge, gave it away. And now trying to break in with the Raiders. Well, the pass off the mark, looking for Ormel. Ormel wasting some time. It's poked away from her, and the Engineers will go back on the attack with 50 seconds to go on the power play. Grusha to center ice, good connection there. Horwood stops at the point. Drop it off for Grusha. Into the slot, pulls it back. Shot coming wide of goal. Slapping it right back up front. Good use of the paddle of the stick by Van Dyke to break up the centering play. And now work back to the point by Tomlinson. Here is Godin. Tied the game up earlier. Fed to the side of the cage. Jam try in front. And that was Tomlinson. Denied again by Van Dyke. Grusha spins around at the hash marks. Works it down low for Tomlinson. Back to Grusha. 19 seconds to go on the power play. Right in front. Horwood scores. Well played! Passing by the Engineers, a power play goal for Laura Horwood, and the Engineers take the lead. It's 3-2. A backhand pass. I think it was Tomlinson who found Horwood, and she jammed it in. It's Horwood's 5th of the season. A 3-2 game with 6:27 left in the second. RPI showing some fight back in this second period. The power play goal is just their 10th of the year, but it comes at a very big time. It's a 3-2 lead. Tie up at center ice. And it's going to be Bohanek out of the corner. Haas. And now Zafudo. Meandering in the circle. Centering pass. Kicked at, stolen away. Nice play by Hansen. Back behind the goal. Bohanek off the wall. On further. Played off the boards by Grigsby. As a teammate breaking, it's Thomas. Couldn't quite find her. Hillwall carried in deep. Now a centering pass, hits a skate as Haas got on the way. And it'll be controlled by Rastrick for the Raiders. Flip to center ice, glove down there by Shelby Perry. The sophomore moves it into the offensive zone. Great move to get by Wren. Centering pass, they score. Another great passing play, this time for the Raiders. And it's Kayla Haas who ties the game at 3-3. Oh boy. Spectacular passing at both ends of the ice. Nothing either goaltender could do. And we are tied once again, and this time at 3-3. Tie up in the corner of the Colgate end. Slapped around Labby lets it run, and now a 2-on-1 chance. Zaleski into the zone. Flipped it back to the point. Jax tried to shoot it. It was broken up by Gruschow, and now Jax again. Down low, Eldridge driving the front of the cage, and she ended up flipping it wide into the corner. Ormel. Handoff for Labby. Under 5 to go in the second period. Labby lost an edge and went down. Here's Wilson Bennett. Indirect pass behind the goal for Larson. Played it back to the point, but nobody home. The Raiders are in the middle of a change. And it'll be controlled by Nicole Gass. 3-3. Shots just 19-13. Not a lot of shots in this game for the number of goals we've had. Engineers picking up a power play goal here in this period to take another brief lead in the game. Raiders came right back. The goal for Haas is her second of the season. Hansen flips it to center ice, knocked down there by Kirion. Comes bounding down the middle of the ice, out of the net to play it Solander. Off the far side boards, Rooney picks it up, gaining speed. A little bit of space for Wash to work near side. Drop past Rooney, top of the circle, walking in, right back to Wash. Shot coming, and finally gloved. It's scooped up in the end by Julia Van Dyke, and we get a whistle. Good back and forth play we've had here. That time it was Rooney feeding it right back in front. Wash redirected it on goal. Was not able to get it by Van Dyke.
Yeah, whatever the coaches said about 12 minutes in or 12 minutes to go in this period, it just all of a sudden became a different game. From the neutral zone back and forth to now all of a sudden end-to-end back and forth.
Now a near chance on a giveaway in the defensive zone. Grigsby trying to work it out along the wall. Godin, stick handling, fed to the circle. Schwalbe, stick handling. Knocked away from her. Fed to the circle. Colgate trying to carry it out of the zone, and that's Perry with speed. What a move. Here comes Shelby Perry, a shot saved by Solander, and it's steered to the corner by Schwalbe. Schwalbe once more will stick handle to center ice. On further. Grigsby or wrister, and they're offside at the line. 3:34 to play in the second. A 3-3 game.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Perry, both recent goals, nothing the goaltender could do. I mean, and one was a power play goal, and it's good to see the Engineers, if you're an Engineer fan, get their power play at least cycling down low into a fact where they can get a good shot in the slot. And that's exactly what Horwood had.
Draw coming up just outside the Colgate end. They have it. Pinckney down the middle, connects to Labby. Knocked off her stick. Eldridge played it back. Good jump to these Engineers right now. Looks like they're skating with some purpose. Trying to clear it out of the zone. Ran into Eldridge, and then she's going to take a penalty here. Another body checking call, and Jessie Eldridge, at 5'9", that kind of contact we've seen gone uncalled most of the season, Jeff, and probably one that this official's going to want back if they watch it again.
Yeah, they're kind of getting explained, kind of not sure why. She was just trying to come in and play the puck.
Yeah,
it's just that there
wasn't much to it.
Absolute mismatch of body size there.
Yeah.
Josephine Hansen.
Eldridge, and it happens, we've seen it on occasion in the women's hockey game, even the men's game. Guys take penalties. Guys and gals take penalties for just being bigger than the other guy. Anyway, a power play chance for the Engineers. They're 1 for 2. Here's Wash, slap shot coming right out in front, looking for the deflection from Mankey. A little bit too much air on it. Ended up going high and wide. Here's Lauren Wash once more. Rooney back for Wash. Hansen, far side, Bohonic, one-timer, didn't catch it cleanly, kind of fluttered wide to the corner. Wash trying to work it back to the point, and the pass was off the mark. Hansen will have to regather at center ice. Bohonic shoots it in, 2.5 to play in the second. Still a minute 24 left on the RPI power play. Great play of the line by Bohonic, but a chance to break shorthanded now as Larson elected to just dump it in. As Engineers catching maybe a bit of a break there, as Colgate would rather change that shorthanded unit as opposed to go off on a potential 2-on-1 try, which Bailey Larson may have had. Either way, the Engineers break back the other direction. It's shot in by Bohonic. Rattle it around for Horwood. Back for Gruschow. Behind the cage. Couple swats at the puck, but it comes free to the point. Here's Whitney Wren. One-timer Godin. Blocked by the shin pad of Perry. Wren once more. Back for Godin again to the circle. One-time Grushow, that one fired wide. Now Wren once more. Back for Godin again. Grushow holds, fakes his shot, pulls it back, sits on the dot. She'll play it down low. Tomlinson up top, good read. Perry can't clear. Second effort, maybe. And she does, just backhanded between Godin and Grushow. 23 seconds to go on the RPI power play. Look ahead pass for Tomlinson. She'll pick it up there. Into the skates of Horwood. Horwood working it down low. Minute 21 to go in the period. 13 on the power play. Godin pulls it back. Fed far side, broken up. Larson trying to make a move and does. Wren trying to help out defensively. Fed through her legs, walking in front. Save made by Solander. As Bailey Larson had the same attempt that Shelby Perry had in the previous power play, although that time, like the first, Solander made the save.
Well, you can tell John Burke and the coaching staff of the Engineers is not going to be happy looking at this game film. All of the one-on-one moves that just shouldn't be done or shouldn't be working in Division I hockey, and they are working against this Engineer defense. And it's not something we've seen them do a lot, is get burned like this, but they are really getting turned around here by this Colgate offense.
Trying to clear it out near side. Hansen runs into Wildfang, puck out to center. Ahead, too far for Grigsby. Thomas trying to help out along the wall, pulls it away, takes a shot from a tight angle at the base of the net. And now Wildfang picks it up. Stick handling through center ice. Lauren Wildfang in on goal from the blue line. Solander tips it into the corner. 30 seconds to go in the second period. Bohonic. Flip past Grigsby, trying to get there, no. Played first by Jax. Back come the Raiders. Eldridge to the circle. Walks around the defense, shot from no angle, is actually below the goal line. And it's in on goal. Engineers trying to pin it up there, still not getting a whistle. Loose in the crease and steered down the middle. Backhand shot by Kyrian was blocked. Another try by Kyrian, saved. And we're gonna pile up, puck between some legs, and a shot in the net.
Oh.
Was it after the whistle? I think yes, but we'll have to probably look at this.
Yeah, this one's going to director review, I can guarantee you that.
Well, absolutely, and the bigger problem as the Solander's stick is broken. What an atrocity in front of the RPI goal if this ends up being a goal. The Engineers had plenty of chances to try and clear that puck. I'm not sure who it was who eventually got a stick on it, but they cleared it right down the middle, the last place you want to put the puck.
Yeah, I think it was just a bad clear. It chipped off his stick. The call on the ice was goal.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to do enough to overturn it, but it's going to be clear by the clock, which is definitely on their
This is going to be a black and white situation here we got coming up. I say black and white, but it could be very, very gray.
It's going to be close. It was a diving attempt by Mankey to clear that puck, which is why she didn't really get all of it.
Okay. She puts that anywhere else.
Yeah, she should have went against the glass. And
if you go anywhere else,
elected to just try to fire it down the ice, but puck never made it on Solander until the very end.
This was all blocks. Engineers had a huge pileup in front. We'll stay here and
if it is
talk
a goal,
about it.
If it is a goal, it's going to be Sullivan's goal.
Okay. It has to cross the line. That's the issue.
If it is a goal, it'll be Sullivan's goal. And it'll be assisted by the scrum in front, which looks like Rastrick was in front.
Yeah. Kyrian, I know, had one crack at it. Puck still.
Kyrian, yeah, that's
loose. 2-1. Oh boy. This could be a goal. Yeah, I think it was slower than that.
Not sure we've ever seen this.
No.
In all our years here at the Fieldhouse.
I remember an RPI, a men's game against Union.
Not this tight, though.
No.
We're under 0.1 second.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's not across the line. Oh, my goodness. That's the closest I've ever seen.
Yeah, at any game I've ever witnessed.
I've never seen a puck this close
We'd
before.
have to go through a hundredths of a second.
That is uncanny. That is uncanny.
I mean,
from here it looks like the puck's on the line, but I couldn't tell you.
Right. So we have
my
we
God.
have tenths of a second on the clock.
That is unbelievable.
But our frame rate for this camera is 30 frames a second.
Right. I've never seen anything.
Frame.
I've never seen anything like this before. This is as close as I've ever seen. This is as close as you get. The puck's sitting on the line at 0.
Actually, at that point, I'm not sure they can rule it a goal, but we'll see what they do. They're going to make a decision right now.
I guess they are. We'll see here. No goal. That's the right call. I mean, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
The puck is about 3/4 of the way over the line at 0, but it has to be all the way over the line.
That's true. You really can't.
It's
get
incredible.
Any closer
It's incredible.
And it's almost a case where technology could come into play, and yeah, you could say, well, spend more on technology, get a better camera, get more frame rate, whatever you want to say. But at that point, it's just unbelievable that the game could be that close.
Well, we had the closest no goal that I've ever seen in a live hockey game or otherwise that I can ever remember. No goal here. We're 3-3 after 2. We'll be back with a third period in a few minutes. You're watching RPI Hockey on RPI TV.
Okay, folks, as we had mentioned, there was no goal at the end of the period there. So we're 3-3 going into the third period. And at this point, we'd like to invite you to come down closer to the boards to compete in tonight's Chuck-a-Puck competition. The person whose puck lands closest to center ice will win. So we'll count it down for you, folks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chuck your pucks.
ready for the third period here. RPI and Colgate tied 3-3. Over on the men's side, the Engineers have apparently tied the game on a goal by Mark Miller. The play is under review. They're just a minute into the third period down in Providence. Perry Lascaris and Jeff Morris here on RPI TV, where we have a 3-3 game as well, and it was very close to not being a 3-3 game. And one of the, probably the closest plays I've ever seen on a buzzer beater for the Raiders did not go their way. Puck was sitting, if I had to guess, maybe 60-40 across the line, but puck's got to be all the way across the line when the clock hits 0. That was not the case, as shown by the cameras here. We have a whistle and a penalty coming up. It's going to be a roughing call. It's going to go on the Engineers. So Colgate will go on the power play for the first time. And wow, that's karma or something. I don't know what you call that. Over on the men's side. Anyway, we play on here. 30 seconds into the third period. Power play for the Raiders. Kirion fed in front, looking for Zaleski. And that one went just wide, I think, or Solander got a pad on it, either one. Looking for the low left corner. Here's Perry. Indirect behind the cage for Larson. Dynamic group out there right now on the power play for the Raiders. Kirion down low, deflected in a stick save by Solander to the corner. Zaleski now. Anka Zaleski to the wall, race for the puck, kept in by the winger, Zafuto, who's playing at the point. So 4 forwards out there. Shot comes and they score. Zafuto on the power play, and it's 4-3. So the power play tally. Works out there for the Raiders. Back to action here. The Engineers find themselves down. Once again, it's been a back and forth game. RPI's had leads of 1-0 and 3-2. The Raiders have led 2-1 and now 4-3. Engineers get it deep here. Jam try, pad save. The light went on behind the goal. Hansen to the point for Godin. Slap shot coming, and a save is made by the goaltender, Van Dyke, although she didn't know where it was. She kind of got frozen in the puck in the corner, thinking she might have had it in her equipment somewhere. Here's Grigsby trying to make a move into the zone, broken up by Larson. Grigsby gets it back, works it down low for Thomas. Taken right back by Gass, who moves it to center. Here is Larson into the RPI zone. Steered wide, a backdoor play, and another great save on Sullivan by Solander. Sullivan was the one who was denied by the clock to end the second period, and that time she stopped by the pad of Solander. We get a whistle here, and a player down, I think. It's a Raiders player in the corner. I can't see who it is. It's in the near side. That'll draw a whistle here. 17-12 on the clock here in the third period. The Raiders have taken a 4-3 lead.
Yeah, Perry, that's Bailey Larson that's down in the corner. She spun herself on a forecheck and took a odd way into the half wall there, and
yeah,
she's getting looked at from the trainer.
I missed it completely.
Now on her feet, which is good
That's
to see.
good to see.
She's on the onto the bench on her own accord, which is also good. But yeah, as you mentioned, that goal right on the line at 0. Your closest view, my closest view that I've ever seen live or on TV or otherwise. That Colgate ended up scoring a 4th goal, a good goal. It was actually tipped. Well,
was tipped? Okay.
We're going to say it was tipped. It looked tipped, and apparently that's what the ref saw. So that was Zaleski's goal.
All right, so Annika Zaleski picks up her 10th of the season on the redirection. The shot came from the point by Zafudo on the power play. Second special teams goal of the night for the Raiders. They have a shorty as well. That was Zafudo's back in the first. Here's a clearing effort by the Raiders all the way down the ice. Will not have the legs for icing as it's played by Solander. And now Whitney Wren. Wren down the middle. Finds Gruschow, tried to stick handle. Pops free to Horwood. Horwood up the wall where Pinckney turns it around at her own line. Fed far side, too far for Restrick. Wren back to pick it up anyway. Played to the near side, Horwood. Turned right back around by Haas. Kayla Haas, 3-on-2 come the Raiders. Yeah, onto the skate of Perry, and Hansen plays it out of the zone. Wash turns it right back around. Wash, good, powerful skating into the offensive zone. A shot from a tight angle, stick to the far side. Perry jumps on it there in front of Rooney. Playing off the backboards, Rooney takes it away. Rooney turns out of trouble. She's double teamed, has it pinned against the backboard. Now Wash trying to find Mankey, and it's turned right back up ice. Olivia Zafudo into RPI territory, 2-on-3. Gets around Hansen, who throws her hands in the air as to say, I didn't trip her. And the puck is moved out by RPI. Spinning puck. Mankey fires it off the skate of Kirion by Wilson Bennett. Mankey now for RPI. Indirect off the wall. On, tipped into the zone. Wrap around to the corner. Kirion and Raspa go into it in the corner. Puck comes free. Sullivan trying to clear. Flip to center ice. And it'll be tracked down by Hannah Bohonic. Cross ice feed. Finds Banks. Banks spins away from some pressure. Third period is 5 minutes old. The Raiders have retaken the lead at 4-3. Wolf, Wildfang, trying to play it out of the zone. And now Kirion throws it into Horwood. It comes bounding into RPI territory where it's controlled by Banks. Back behind for Bohonic. Over to Horwood. She'll move it out to center ice. Good connection, Tomlinson into the zone. Backhand pass for Gruschow. Her shot was partially deflected and goes wide of the goal. Now Labby, broken up by Horwood. Centering pass right to Tomlinson. Comes back to Horwood. Center blue line for Wren. Tried to feed it down low. And it comes right back to her. Wren tripped up on the way to the corner. Lost the puck. It's played off the backboard. And now the first one too, it's going to be Eldridge. Tomlinson. Battling there with Wildfang. Here's Gass now behind the goal. And it's Gass near side. Connects there to Zaleski. Broken up by Tomlinson, and we get a whistle and maybe an offside. 13:59 left in the third period. It's 4-3 Raiders.
Yeah, tough one, huh? By another offside play, but Gruschow showing some visible frustration there, as they had a good offensive little cycle going.
Nice job by Hansen to keep it in. Shot from the point. Goes a couple feet wide. Wash tied up in the circle. Trying to move it out to center ice. Too far for Zafudo. And it's going to be Josephine Hansen, the Copenhagen, Denmark native, to play it back for Godin. She gets it back there. Colgate with some forecheck pressure, and they turn the puck over. Shot by Zafudo, tipped wide off Mankey's stick. And it comes loose to the corner. Now it's Haas. Great stick handle work there to get it back to the point. Trickling in on goal. Easy save that time, and Solander will cover.
Well, Colgate's trying to slow this game down, especially taking those long shifts and getting it deep and just working it over into Solander if they can. They know the kind of quality that she presents in the crease and covers everything down low.
Back towards the point. Pinckney can't keep it in, and the Engineers break the other way, 3-on-3. Shot back out to center. A couple Engineers are offside. They touch up, flipped wide of a goal. Looked like Van Dyke just saw that one just wide of the cage. Good pressure here by this fourth line. Grigsby looking to work it back to the point. Wrist shot coming, banks, and a pad save made. Toe stop by Van Dyke in the end. Played back behind. Cleared to center. That was slowed a bit by the linesman on the far side. That's Stephanie Wild. And now Bohonic. Stick handling up the boards, finds Gruschow. Work to center ice by Grigsby. Pressure comes on Labby. And here's Gruschow now 1-on-3. Into the zone. Backhand from a tight angle. Pops off the back of the cage. He'll pick it back up on the other side. Horwood drags it around the defender. And now works it through the legs of her teammate Gruschow. Horwood trying to work it back to her, as now she is tied up in the corner. Larson for the Raiders. Finds Labby. Labby dumps it in. Rolled around to the far side. 8 minutes into the third. 4-3 Raiders. The shot all the way down the ice by RPI, and it will be icing the call.
Yeah, Tomlinson with a blind breakout pass there, and that's kind of how RPI has been working themselves into holes for these past few weeks, maybe months. They seem to not get anything offensively going. It's because they continually miss breakout plays and turn the puck over in the neutral zone unnecessarily.
Engineers get it out to center. Horwood stick handling, tried to kick it to herself. She was forced offside. Engineers don't touch it. So we'll play on here. Into the zone. Nice move by Labby to get free. Centering pass all the way through, kept in there by the Raiders. Kirion, near side, circle shot. And it was headed wide, so Fudo's try. It was gloved by Solander.
Yeah, even when the Engineers have some speed, they ended up losing the puck over the blue line. The Raiders are doing a better job connecting through the neutral zone, getting passes, and making sure they have possession, solid possession as they cross the blue line.
Shots are 26-18 Raiders. And they maintain a 1-goal lead. Have word over from Providence that the RPI men have tied the game at 3 with the Bears. Now a chance to break 2-on-1 for Rooney. Across for Wash, intercepted by Zafudo, and she clears it back the other way, although this will be icing on Colgate. Could have been much worse if not for the back check of the freshman Zafudo.
And that's what we've been talking about, Perry, the whole time, is that when they get the chances, they seem to make odd decisions, making passes when people aren't open, trying to feather the perfect pass through a stick or a blade. And I think they just have to be a little bit more patient with the puck, let the defender commit and start driving wide and get some shots on goal. That would have been a perfect opportunity to shoot low pad, get something low on Van Dyke for the rebound.
Pass back to Godin, took her eye off it. Asked to move back out to center, get a couple of teammates to touch up. Raiders have it behind the goal. Wildfang up the boards, out to center. Godin has it there, played it across for Hansen, a bit behind the intended target. Hansen back to pick it up. Up the boards from Mankey. Gets some pressure there from Wilson Bennett, and now Godin will steer it back behind the goal. Over to Rooney. Rooney to center ice, intercepted. Wilson Bennett in the slot, takes a shot, and she scores. A giveaway in front. It's going to be an unassisted goal for the Raiders. And for Wilson Bennett, it is her 11th of the year and a costly giveaway for the Engineers.
Yeah, they don't get any more blatant than that. It was sort of the same thing that Rooney got in trouble with on her offensive 2-on-1. She tried to feather another pass right across the top of the slot, and it just gets intercepted. And she makes no mistake, does Wilson Bennett.
So RPI in a 2-goal hole for the first time tonight as Eldridge brings it in. Shot coming from Zaleski, blocked. It was blocked there, and now Banks. Hilwa over to Bohonic. And now Grigsby on for Thomas, and Grigsby into the zone. Toe drag shot stopped and swept away by Rastrick after the save was made by Van Dyke. Zaleski spun to the ice by Thomas. Rastrick picks it up, fires it to center, right onto the tape of Horwood, but she has to wait for a couple teammates to get back on side, and they do. Into the zone now. In the corner. Tomlinson has it knocked away, and the Raiders clear to center. This will be icing. 9:22 on the clock, third period. Well, the faceoff coming all the way in Colgate's end of the ice. And a chance for RPI here, down 2.
Well, this first time they've been down 2 this game. My sense top line's going to be out there, and Coach Burke, in fact, does.
Stolen away. It'll be Labby to break out to center. Shot in, played there. And we get a whistle, 9:08 left in the third.
Yeah, you wonder if you're going to see a shortened bench here from Burke. I mean, we just saw the fourth line out there doing some work. Haven't seen, excuse me, that was the third line. So we have not seen the fourth line this period, I don't believe, Perry. The Raspa, Schwalbe, Tremblay line.
Yeah.
Maybe we saw them once earlier, but it's definitely short. They're getting shortened time so far. So
absolutely.
More time for the top 2 lines to try to get that 4th and 5th goal.
Engineers get it deep. Poke free by Menke. Uncharacteristic of both these goaltenders, Solander and Van Dyke. Neither of them give up a lot of goals. Although this was a 3-3 game with both goaltenders in net the last time they met. Here's Zarudo into the zone. Zafuto rather, toe dragging a shot high and wide. Karams to the far side of the net. Haas couldn't get her stick on it. Now she has it in the circle. Haas being watched there by Hansen. Still Haas. Back to the point. Kirion. That one's turned away. A long shot was seen by Solander. Engineers trying to get out of their own end. Here's Perry. Shelby Perry. To the point with it. Drop pass. Shot coming well wide from Gass. It's picked up by Bohonic. The Raiders change. They'll allow RPI a chance to move it out of the zone. Grigsby shoots it in deep. Wrapped around for Wildfang. Tomlinson on for Horwood. Trying to make a move. Horwood turning and firing in front. One-timer goes wide from Gruschow. She's taken down and draws a penalty here. Alexa Gruschow hauled down by Larson. We've seen that numerous times in the career of Alexa Gruschow drawing penalties, just moving her feet.
Yeah, hooking, interference, whatever you want to call it there. Gruschow nowhere near the puck. Actually, she was just driving across the slot, and I think Larson's paraphernalia, stick, glove, got caught up in the jersey, and she's wondering why she gets called, but you got to take care of your equipment.
Gruschow in, shot right on, save, rebound, poke behind the goal. Trying to clear it out near side, Pinckney picked up by Tomlinson. Down low, Gruschow up top for Godin to the far circle. Now Wren, puck never sat for, and the shot went wide. It was blocked, and now we get a whistle as it's covered by Van Dyke.
A combination, Blyde. Blocked and wide.
Blocked wide? Blyde.
Whitney Wren, she's struggled today, I think, on the blue line, especially making some decisions on getting the puck deep. She had that shot blocked there as well.
Puck played deep by the Raiders. Now Tomlinson over to Horwood. Off the near side boards. Godin had it knocked away from her, trying to move it out to center. There was Sullivan. And now Wren trying to pick up speed into the zone. Kicks it to herself, lost it. Stolen away. And Gruschow gets bumped by Wildfang. Clearing effort, knocked down there, but coughing it up was Godin. And now here comes Sullivan. Short-handed, minute to go on the Larson penalty. RPI trying to fight to take the puck back, and they do. Mankey on for Wash. Lauren Wash into the offensive zone. Hesitation move, gets down low. Wash around. Flip to the far side for Mankey. Gets it back. Lauren Wash at the circle now. Holding. Up top, Hansen, a drive. That one's blocked. Rebound pops free to Wash. Back to Hansen. To the circle for Bohanek. Hansen had that one slide right through her stick, but she's able to regather. Hansen again. Slap shot coming. Deflects on goal, and it's between the pads of Van Dyke, and she's able to hold on. It's good possession from this RPI power play, but still nothing to show for it with 25 seconds left on it.
Getting the shots through is definitely a step that they haven't reached up until, these, at least from what I've seen this season, these power plays. And they certainly got rewarded for the first power play, and it's good to see Josephine Hansen getting it through and without block to Van Dyke.
Shot all the way down by the Raiders. This should all but do it. Maybe one more rush on the man advantage as Hansen has the puck behind the goal. Josephine Hansen, far side, a little bit too far for Mankey. Bouncing puck corralled by the Raiders. Zaleski poked loose by Grushaw. Tomlinson, a little bit of room to work far side. She'll carry in. Fed down low behind the net. Out of the box is Larson. Raiders back to even as the puck is worked out to center ice. RPI now 1 for 4 on the power play. Carried in by Godin. Pulls it back. Makes a move. Godin fired it on a centering pass, I think, but gets as far as Tomlinson. Good move by Horwood to get loose. Still Horwood. Centering pass poked away. Godin finds Wren. There's a player dumped to the side of the cage. It's going to be another RPI power play. Off goes Solander. Shot off the back of the net, and the Raiders are going to get a touch. But it's going to be an elbowing call. I beg your pardon. The engineer who went down on the play was Tomlinson, who was decked at the side of the net. And RPI right back to that power play. Engineers 1 for 4 thus far.
And Nicole Gass, the guilty Raider, is trying to manage the front of the net. Tomlinson, like you mentioned, Perry was the recipient of the elbow. As a timeout's going to be called here from John Burke's club, as they really need a goal here. They need to make the Raiders pay and climb within 1, or they're going to have a tough battle for the last 4 and change.
Right, this is pretty much the game if the Engineers want a legitimate shot at coming back here, a power play goal. The Engineers power play, for all intents and purposes, has looked good so far this evening.
Yeah, they've registered 7 shots on 5 chances. So that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not great. You probably want to get more shots.
Right.
But considering what they're running 9% coming into this game,
yeah,
the fact that they're 20% right now, I'm sure they're building confidence and saying right now, guys, we can really work the puck down low and get a shot rather than rely totally on stagnant passing around the key. So all they need is a good rebound to pop out on somebody's stick, and that's what happened with Horwood's goal. A rebound pops right out, and she's in the slot to bury it. And the top line's going to be out there, as you would suspect.
Big spot in this one. Power play for the Engineers. Shots are 29-21 Raiders. Face-off 1 cleanly back to Whitney Wren. Wren for Godin. On for Grushaw. She'll spin around top of the circle. Down low, Tomlinson. Aggressively move the puck in front. Fanning on the first try. Horwood put it wide in the second effort. And now Wren try to move it down low. Bouncing puck to the point. Godin keeps it in. Near side for Grushaw. Some space. A slapper. Sliding block, but she gets it right back. Fed in front. It's tipped wide. Tomlinson. Back to Grushaw. Now Godin. Godin skates it to the center of the ice. She'll spin around. Godin for Grushaw. Back to Godin. Right back to Grushaw. Tomlinson. Centering pass. Another good stick there by Pinckney. And Wren comes to clean things up top for Godin. Jen Godin Feeds it off the boards. Clearing effort. Kicked at by Godin. Touched the puck. Offside is the call. And not a bad play after the puck left the zone. Godin touched it, but Raiders might have been able to break the other way if she didn't.
She was flat-footed, so she had to go offside there. But that whole play broke down, and not to Godin's fault, but Whitney Wren just did not get to her position on the far half wall in time to offer the option for Godin to pass to her. So she was kind of stuck without an option.
Was forced out of the zone and now shot all the way down. Still 50 seconds to go on the RPI power play as they look to break out from behind their own goal. Josephine Hansett on for Lauren Wash. Near side for Mankey. She'll carry it in. Tied up, lost the puck. Eldridge plays it behind. Kirion turning, feeding up the boards. Kept in by Hansen. Right to Kirion. She'll clear on a second effort. Now 30 seconds to go in the power play. 3:17 left in the third. Hansen back to pick it up for the Engineers. By the end of the night, the Engineers could potentially be on the outside looking in to a potential playoff spot. Still quite a ways to go as it's flipped in on goal, but not a place you want to be, of course, with the Cornell Big Red coming to town tomorrow afternoon. Out of the box comes Gas, and the Raiders kill off another penalty, although Solander's thinking about leaving the ice for an extra skater. Good play at the line by Godin, and now here comes Horwood. Engineers are onside, turning and shooting Solander. Rebound Solander, a poke try. That one's blocked.
Tomlinson.
And now Tomlinson, excuse me, you're right. It would not be Solander. Godin back to pick it up. Solander off with 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in the game. Wren shot all the way through the top of the crease. It's picked up there by Grigsby. Grigsby off the backboard for Tomlinson. Off the wall for Grushow. Tried to steer it back for Hansen. Grushow keeps it in, although Hansen's second effort has the puck leave the zone. It was basically forced out by Larson. Here's Hansen now. 1:46 left. 6 skaters on the ice for RPI as they chip it deep. Mankey ties up there with Gas. Grigsby kicks it to herself. Wash on for Rooney. Wash trying to move it out of the corner. Some space up top for Hansen. Near side, one-timer Bohonic save. Rebound put wide by Mankey. 1:20 to go. And a chance for Gas to clear. Takes a look up ice and flips it in the air to center. Glove down by Hansen. A lot of pressure on her. But it's picked up by Rooney. A chance to break 3-on-2. Rooney into the zone. Shot was blocked by a skate. Played behind the goal. To the far side. Here's Jax. A chance to clear. She fanned on it. Picked up there. Thomas, a crack at it. Now it's cleared to center. Picked up by Bohonic. Spins it back for Hansen. Hansen looks to carry in. Drop pass Horwood. Horwood walking into the circle. It's broken up and cleared. Kept in by Tomlinson. Her shot is blocked as Grushow tries to glove it down and does. Kept in at the point by Alexa Grushow. Fanning effort on a try by Gas to clear. Down low with 33 seconds to go. Centering pass off the side of the cage. Thomas just dumps Gas to the side of the net. Loose at the crease. And a clearing effort will get it out of the zone. Back to pick it up Wren at 22 ticks left. RPI doing a lot here in the offensive zone with a 6-on-5 advantage. Player upended in the neutral zone. And we play on. 12 seconds to go. Puck out to center. Godin. Back to center ice for Grushow. Indirect. Near side into the zone comes Thomas. Flip towards goal. Knocked down there by Gas with 2 seconds. 1. And that will do it as Grushow gets a shot off at the horn. Zafudo doesn't like it. And they'll have to settle that down there. 5-3 the final. The Engineers falling here to the Colgate Raiders. The shots were 29-24, so the Engineers do come back in that department towards the end of the game, getting some chances with the extra attacker, but do not score. And a back-and-forth game, Jeff. It was 3-3 after 2, but the Raiders showed that power play goal really kind of was a tough one for the Engineers to take in the end.
Yeah, especially after they got by the skin of the seconds, or milliseconds, you should say, after the second period. And then they They kind of got a little lazy, and I thought some of their last power plays were, there was just a lack of urgency in their defensive zone, trying to break it out and trying to get set up. It just seemed that they weren't aware of the clock, or just didn't understand the pressure involved or the urgency that they needed to get down 180 feet to get set up. But in any event, Colgate, credit to them, a tough squad of obviously Van Dyke, a great effort and fending off some of those shots with all the traffic in front, and RPI climbing back, as you mentioned, in the shots. Face-offs 31-21 in favor of Colgate. Both teams had a power play goal. Colgate 1 for 1 on their only chance. RPI played a better game than they've played in a while here at the Fieldhouse. I'll say that.
Absolutely. They played hard, and they're going to have to bring that same effort tomorrow. Colgate, for years, Cornell has been a power in ECAC women's hockey, and as it is on the men's side. But this year, the tables have kind of turned, and Colgate's the better team. Obviously, they're the ranked team. And Cornell, a team RPI beat earlier in the year. Very big 2 points on the line tomorrow, especially with Cornell playing Union tonight. Clearly going to jump the Engineers in the standings, and so RPI will have to return the favor tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, no doubt everything matters at this point, with only a few home games left for the Engineers, and games in the regular season that matter in the point standing. So the bottom four will just have to sit it out, and the Engineers don't want to be in that department.
That'll do it for us here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Your score once again was Colgate 5 and RPI 3. You've been watching live coverage of RPI hockey on RPI TV.